To access the IntelliFrame library, activate Template mode and click on the book icon. IntelliFrames are special templates that you can create very quickly using predefined parameters. There are currently the following IntelliFrames available: Sprint and Masterplan, the IntelliFrame for agile project planning; Spreadsheet, the IntelliFrame for basic tables; Agenda, the IntelliFrame for meeting and workshop agendas; iFrame Embed, the IntelliFrame for embedding websites, as well as Word documents, PowerPoints, and Excel spreadsheets; Power BI, the IntelliFrame for embedding Power BI charts directly into the board; Work Radar combines stickies from multiple master plans into a time-based view; Jira IntelliFrame transforms your Jira issues into a structured table; and last but not least, the ALEAS Projects IntelliFrame, which is available for organizations that use ALEAS projects. Let's start by creating a simple spreadsheet. Hover your mouse over the spreadsheet tile, then click the Add IntelliFrame button. The IntelliFrame editor will open. On the left, you can see a live preview of your template. On the right, you will find the adjustable parameters. Depending on the IntelliFrame you select, different settings will be available. At the top of the editing menu, you'll find the zoom controls, as well as undo and redo buttons. First, you can edit the title of your spreadsheet. Next, you can activate or deactivate the sticky binding option. I'll explain more about sticky binding later. Toggle the Next button if you want to include a footer. Note that the header is always displayed. You can then adjust the number of rows and columns and select a color scheme from the drop-down menu. In order to edit a column, click on the header cell. You can change the caption text and even use emojis. Click on the color swatch to change the header color by selecting one of the predefined colors or entering a hex code. You can also adjust the column width. With the buttons at the bottom, you can move columns left or right, add a new column, or delete an existing one. Just remember, if sticky binding is active, you'll need to remove all sticky notes from the column before deleting it. Similarly, if you click on a table row, you can edit its caption and color, change the row height, and move, add, or delete rows. Once you've customized your IntelliFrame to your liking, click Save to apply the changes and place the IntelliFrame on your board. IntelliFrames have a fixed size, but you can reposition, move, download, and save them to My Templates, just like any other template. Let me quickly demonstrate the sticky binding feature. First, I'll place some stickies on my spreadsheet. Now, if I reposition the template, the stickies will move with it. The same thing happens when I reopen the editor and, for example, add a new row or column. Sticky binding ensures that any stickies you place on an IntelliFrame will remain within the table cells, preserving their position. A red chevron in the top right corner of a sticky indicates that sticky binding is active for the template it's placed on. The sticky will stay anchored to the table cell where its top right corner is positioned. Sticky binding is automatically activated. If you prefer not to use this feature, you can deactivate it in the IntelliFrame editor. Please note that sticky binding is currently only available for IntelliFrames and cannot be activated for other templates. With the Agenda IntelliFrame, you can quickly create structured agendas for meetings or workshops. Let's open the Agenda editor. As always, you can give your template a title and choose whether to enable or disable sticky binding. What's different here is that you can add a date and define a specific time frame for your meeting. Simply enter the start and end times accordingly. Next, you can adjust the duration of the time increments, which in turn affects the number of rows. You can also choose how many columns to display and customize the column widths. And of course, the usual color schemes are available too. Unlike a standard spreadsheet, you have the option to hide both the header and footer. Click on either of them to open the editing menu, where you can update the caption and change the background color. If you're happy with all the settings, click Save and place the template on the board. There's a unique feature available for the agenda template that allows you to shift the time frame with just a few clicks. To use it, activate Template mode, then right-click on the agenda. Choose Shift Agenda from the context menu. A new window will open, where you can use the plus and minus buttons to adjust the time frame in your selected increments. The start and end times will update automatically. Each agenda shows a current time indicator based on your local time zone, plus the remaining meeting time is displayed at the bottom. The Sprint and Masterplan template has been designed by our Agile coaches and is ideal for Agile project planning and management. You can learn more about our Agile hybrid framework and its use cases on our website. When you open the editor, you'll notice one key difference right away. The Sprint and Masterplan is a timeline-based template. The red lines in the template highlight the current calendar week. On the right side, you have your parameters as usual. First up is the Sprint section. A sprint usually lasts 4 to 6 weeks. You can manually set the start and end date of your sprint. You also have the option to hide the sprint section completely. The same is true for the Masterplan. While the sprint section displays weeks as columns, in the Masterplan each month is treated as a unit. By default, calendar weeks are shown in the Masterplan, but you can choose to hide them. The Masterplan timeframe is a cohesive unit, which means you can add additional columns to the left or right of the Masterplan, but not in the middle of your timeframe. The header color of the Sprint and Masterplan corresponds to your selected color scheme. However, you can individually adjust the size and color of rows as well as custom columns. Work Radar is an IntelliFrame that brings together sticky notes from multiple Sprint and Masterplan templates into one clear, time-based view. With everything in one place, you can quickly spot overlaps, understand priorities, and plan ahead more effectively. Open the IntelliFrame library and select Work Radar. You can enter your own title, then define the time frame you'd like to display. Next, choose the boards you want to include and select the Sprint and Masterplan IntelliFrames from those boards. You can select multiple boards and multiple IntelliFrames. Please note that sticky binding must be enabled for your Sprint and Masterplan templates. Next, select one or more users. Work Radar will show all stickies where they are either the sticky owner or a supporter. Optionally, you can change the color scheme. Once you've set all parameters, click Save and position the Work Radar on your board. Each selected IntelliFrame appears in its own row, keeping everything clearly separated and easy to scan. Stickies are placed automatically in the correct calendar week. No manual adjustments are required. If a sticky appears in the wrong column, open the original Sprint and Masterplan and adjust its position there. The top right corner of the sticky is used as the reference point. If the sticky extends beyond the dividing line, it will appear in the following calendar week. Use the refresh button to update your work radar after making changes to any of the included boards. You can edit the work radar at any time to adjust the time frame or update the board selection. You can also right-click any sticky to open it on the original board. Editing stickies directly in Work Radar is not available yet, but will be added in the future. The iFrame Embed IntelliFrame allows you to integrate external content directly into your board. For example, you can embed Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, or Excel files as long as you're using the Microsoft 365 web applications. In this example, we'll embed an Excel file. Open the file in Excel Online. Go to File, click Share, and select Embed. Then copy the iFrame link provided. Return to ALEAS Board. Open the IntelliFrame library, select iFrame, and paste the link into the input field. Then click Save, and position the frame on the board. If necessary, you can adjust the size as usual. The embedded file is interactive, meaning you can scroll through sheets or pages right from within the board. The Jira IntelliFrame turns your Jira issues into a clear, structured overview, making priorities, dependencies, and progress easy to understand at a glance. Before you get started, make sure that Jira Sync is enabled for the board you're currently working on. You can find step-by-step instructions on how to do this in our board setup and management video. To create a Jira IntelliFrame, open the IntelliFrame library and select Jira. This will open the editor. As usual, you can enter a title and adjust the available settings. For example, you can choose to hide the footer, make stickies read-only, or hide empty data. Next, select a Jira project from the drop-down menu. The list of available projects is loaded directly from your connected Jira instance. Once you've selected a project, you can define how your board is structured by choosing which Jira properties should be used for the rows and columns. For example, you might organize issues by status, priority, responsible person, component, or issue type. If needed, you can also add a JQL filter to further narrow the scope and show only the issues that are relevant for your current planning or review. You can also customize the visual appearance by adjusting the color scheme or changing the sticky color to better match your board. After adding the Jira IntelliFrame to the board, all Jira issues are displayed as sticky notes and automatically arranged according to the rows and columns you defined. Any changes you make on the board are synced directly with Jira and the other way around. This ensures your data stays up to date in both systems at all times. You can also embed live previews of Power BI charts directly into your board. To do that, open the Power BI IntelliFrame and click the Add button. From the menu, select one of your workspaces and choose a report. You can customize the view by enabling the action bar, filter pane, or navigation pane. Once you're ready, click Save, then place the frame anywhere on the board. The charts will update in real time, so you'll always have the latest data right at your fingertips. You can even use the filter options directly within the board. Just a quick note. You'll need to be logged into your Power BI account to view the charts. And depending on your organization, admin or IT approval may be required to enable Power BI integration. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. Thanks for watching and happy collaborating!